Abdulaziz Ganduje, son of Abdullahi Ganduje, the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, visited the Kano State Anti-Corruption and Public Complaints Commission a few days ago. But on Tuesday, the chairman of the anti-graft agency, Muhuyi, Magaji, said the commission is investigating a fresh case where the Ganduje government allegedly diverted 51 billion naira. The commission had filed criminal charges against the former governor over an alleged $413,000 and 1.38 billion bribe. The commission said it had assembled 15 witnesses to testify against Ganduje. Abdulaziz, the first son of Ganduje, reportedly visited the agency to show support for the commission's case against his dad, mom, and brother. Well, for more on this, let's bring in Muhuyi Magaji. He's the executive chairman of the Kano State Public Complaints and Anti-Corruption Commission. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Magaji.
Thank you, and good evening.
So, on Kano State, we've heard the story for a while. Yeah. There are few states in Nigeria that have set up their own anti-corruption agency. We have, the federal one, the EFCC. Yes. And so Kano is one of those states. Yes. It set it up in 2005.
Yes.
Tell us, how useful or helpful has that commission been since then?
Well, if you look at the problem of corruption in Nigeria, I think it's very, very necessary at Subnational we have an institution that will complement what is happening at the federal level, especially in the aspect of preventing and fighting against corrupt practices in the country. And this has been supported by the decision of the Supreme Court in AG Ondo and versus AG Federation, where the Supreme Court says it is the responsibility of all organs of government, including that is government at all levels of government, because the Constitution of Nigeria defined government to be government of the federal, state, and that of the local government. So you see, Section 15 of 5 of the Constitution mandated the government to fight corruption, and that is the wisdom of the Supreme Court, which says both the state and the federal government has to come up with mechanisms to fight corruption.
Right.
And alhamdulillah, as you said, Kano State is the pioneer because we have established our agency in 2005. And it was upgraded. It was prior to that time, it was a directorate, but in 2008, it was upgraded to the status of commission. And as I'm talking to you, at least we have paired very well with so many investigation and proactive approach in terms of preventing corrupt practices.
Right. So since you became chairman, how many convictions have you had? I'm asking this question in light of the fact that the EFCC, for instance, we hear so much about many governors and other public officials allegedly corrupt. But at the end of the day, how many actually go to jail? So what have you done in Kano State? How many convictions?
Well, it's not all about conviction per se, but we have such a level of conviction which I cannot tell you offhand here. But all what we are trying to do is to make sure that we have a mechanism that will first of all create a peer, inject a fear, and at least serve as a deterrence, whereby those that appeals they can do and undo with impunity to engage in corrupt practices will find at least a place where they know that at least that will not be tolerated. And secondly, yes, I was appointed in 2015, and along the line, just like what Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala said, fighting corruption in Nigeria is dangerous, and it's like you are fighting a cellular cartel in Colombia, for instance, because at least you see you are fighting the powerful ones. So in the process, when I come on board, the commission, we have to transform the commission to be able to confront the task of fighting corruption, bring in most of the instrument, like the state doesn't have the powers to police the society. Yeah. So we relied solely on the federal systems, that is the unitary police we have, which they are responsible for implementing the law. And while the commission will give them logistic and support necessary for them to do it, and other security agencies. Right. So that is what we did. Then we come up with so many investigations which are high profile, and along the line, we got some certain problem, which I went on sabbatical for 2 years. When I say sabbatical, it's because the court has voided what happens. So now, since it at least I was suspended, that took me to challenge the suspension in the court, and we were able, eventually the court ruled, both the industrial court, National Industrial Court ruled in my favor, and that is when I come back. And since I come back, we were able to continue with investigations that we have started, and high-profile case. I have high-profile case before the court now, almost 10 of billions of naira.
Do you want to share with us who this we'll come to Ganduje, but do you want to share with us just names?
Yes. Well, I have a case whereby the Kano Agricultural Supply Company, 4 billion naira was sent to Kano Agricultural Supply Company in April last year. That is April 2023. And that 4 billion naira was taken away and put into various accounts that belong to the same managing director of the agency, who happens to connive with some certain individual and did that. So we were able to, seize many properties on that, and block about 700 million naira in the bank and we prepare 10 count charges, and we are now before the court. Okay. We have a case. Okay.
Yeah, so you said that fighting corruption is dangerous. Other people have also made the same statement. What is your biggest challenge in fighting corruption?
Well, fighting corruption at subnational level is much more challenging than that of the federal, because, like you see, it's very, very unfortunate. Look at what is happening with the EFCC now. Like what you said during the opening of the program, when anybody that becomes a governor, he holds the highest trust of any states, because you are the governor, you have enormous powers and responsibilities entrusted to you by the people. So it is so unbecoming to see nowadays whereby somebody who rules the state for almost 8 years now come back to start thinking perhaps he didn't even believe in the system. Because for somebody that believed in the system, we have a robust court system. When there is a cogent allegation against you, and if you know you are clean, there's no need for dragging. Why can't somebody just simply go and answer the case? The case. So the challenge is that you are fighting, because anti-corruption in Kano is not only anti-corruption, like you rightly called the name, it's Public Complaints and Anti-Corruption Commission. So it's a conglomeration of 3 agencies. We fight corruption, we protect human rights, and we receive public complaints. So, but the most tricky one is that of fighting corruption, because that is when you are fighting with those that feel they are even immune, or that they own the country. So you can't even start it. So the fight is that the challenge is multidimensional. It comes with so many financial challenges, because they can spend any money to prostrate you. They can hire the best lawyer to prostrate what you are doing. And at the same time, you see, some might use their connections, or rather affiliation. When you rely on so many, like the EFCC, they have their personnels, they bear weapons, so they have the capacities. But like us, that rely solely on agencies, so they can use that to ignite interference, which might be counterproductive to what we are doing. It
really sounds frustrating and difficult. So you said people that think they own the country, and so let's go to former Governor Alhaji Abdullahi Ganduje. He's also the national chairman. I think people will believe that he's part of the people that feel they own the country. So the allegations against him, 51.3 billion naira and some other monies. What's the goal here? Is it to recover these monies, or is it to get a prosecution that will land him in jail?
Well, the ultimate goal is, number one, as I said, to serve as deterrence. You see, this particular case, as you said, is a very, peculiar case whereby local government statutory allocation will be sent to Kano State. If the local government statutory allocation is sent to Kano State and Accountant General, then that money will be transported, will be channeled to different local government accounts. And they made the staffs, the DPMs, Director of Personnel Management, the treasurers, the cashiers, and the head of departments. They will create a syndicate of people that will just come and now wrote what we call in our law making false statement and return. Because what they did is to create a false expenditure. That false expenditure will give them an avenue to create a payment voucher. They use that payment voucher, and unfortunately for them, they will take that money from the government account, from the local government account, and they will put it in either staff of the local government, that is the cashier account, perhaps because of the cashless policy we are having, then, or a third party. They will send the money who did not even participate in that particular contract or purported contract, as they said. Then they will go and cash that money. Either they will use the merchants or merchant innocently from single market or any other market, because we trace a lot of funds to single market. Then they will take that money in cash. They will take it to Kano government house. There's somebody there stationed who is counting machine. Then that count, when the person count that money, then they will take it to a third party who is equally in our cell as I'm talking to you now. Now, after that, then they will take it to Wafa, they will change it to dollars. and now take it to certain individuals.
So that partly explains why we have so much money floating outside the banking system in people's homes. That's
why I said, even the artificial scarcity we are having now, it is because we don't control what we did in our financial sector. In Nigeria, you can just take money and go and purchase $1 million. Nobody will ask you how, why, and for what. Go to other jurisdictions. I travel to somewhere, even Egypt here, when I travel to Egypt. When you are to change currency, they will collect your passport. They will know you. They know what you are taking. But as I'm talking to you now, almost all our cases before the court, we have a Beirut exchange operator who will come and testify whereby that money was sent to him and it was changed to dollar.
So why has the government refused to put in place a policy to check this?
I think the central bank is doing very well now, because you can see it start yielding results. But I don't think we can go there.
Right.
That will be another issue. Another issue. But altogether, what I'm trying to tell you is that we were able to trace, based on compassionate statement, 51.3 billion naira. That is because what we are tracing is well over 100 billion. But 51.3 billion naira is what somebody now come to the commission, about 200 people, compares to the commission that we took this money, and this money that they asked us to write, we purchase a card for hospital, we purchase antenatal drugs, is all lies. We have it. And we didn't even see the money. We only produce the payment. But the cashier compares to the commission that this money, we have taken it to so person. And that person was invited by the commission. He equally compares that, yes, this person take it to so. So this is when we established 51.3 billion naira. So as I'm talking to you now, we have a cogent and verifiable evidence that we are taking to court on this case. So
staggering information, by the way. Ganduje, his wife Hafsat, and son Omar are all enroped in these allegations. It looks like it's a family thing, but then you also have to prove, because you allege you have to prove
beyond reasonable doubt.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is, nobody knows, no prosecutor that word his salt under our legal system, because we are operating, inquisitorial system of government, not accusatorial system of legal system. Because if you allege, you have to prove. So now, you cannot come and present a 10-count charge against somebody who is a high-profile somebody, and you take it to court and you think you'll get it so easy. No, we have a very cogent evidence. Like what you say, the spouse of the former governor, she used to be the signatory of all the accounts that were linked in such particular allegations. And the allegation is not all about this 51 billion, because this 51 billion, as I'm telling you, is virtually, I think, is 90% of it was taken in cash. It's only been traced, but it was taken in cash. But this one, it is on a particular issue whereby, a company belonging to Kano State government was sold to a company that belonged to the Pest family. And this Pest family, all these people you mentioned, they are directors. And that, including the person that you just mentioned, visited me in the office. And at the same time, the spouse, the wife of the former governor, is the signatory of that account. And that company is a cotton ginnery that deals with ginning of cotton. We have cotton ginnery, we have cotton tannery. All the two companies were sold. But this particular one was sold to his family and under his hand at the stupid price of, ridiculous price, forgive me, of 320 million instead of the value of the property, which is worth 2 billion naira. So you see, and even the said 320 million naira was not remitted. It was only, we were only able to trace 90 million naira, and this 90 million naira, we trace it back to this local government money. Right.
Wow. Okay, so Ganduje's first son, Abdulaziz, paid a visit to the commission in Kano. That's an interesting turn of events, because it seems that he is against his father, his mother, and his brother. Tell us about this visit briefly.
Well, anyway, honestly speaking, I was just sitting downstairs because I was in the operation sections when I was called, my attention was called that I had a visitor, and when the police that were at the gate recognized him, they allowed him access to the office. So I now come and meet him, and he was so supportive, so to say, especially making reference to what is happening with me, particularly in the aspect of fighting against corruption. And he supported me, and at least he encouraged us to be doing this for Kano State. And honestly speaking, many people see it as negative, but as far as I'm concerned, I advise him because it's a family matters. So I give him honest advice on how to deal with my family issues, and I equally thank him for the support and for the word of encouragement.
So this same son, Abdulaziz, also reported his mother, Hafsat, in 2021 to your commission.
To the EFCC.
Yeah, to the EFCC, not to your commission. But so that says that he's probably different.
Yes, what he told me, even that during that visit, he revisited this matter. He made mention of what happens, and he wanted the commission to act on that, okay. Which I really told him that, no, the commission cannot act when a sister organization is acting on that. That's what I said. And the second one is he made mention of that his name within one of this company was removed. Yes. And he wondered how his name will get removed without him appending his signature, because he told me that he did not authorize his name to be removed. So he wondered who removed, because when you look at the report, the search report from the Corporate Affairs Commission, you see his name as director was removed. So that is one of his grievances. But I really advise him because I believe it's a family matter, and I believe there's a best way to handle it, not as many people might think the commission will now instigate him to go. And I give him honest advice, being a brother and being at least a family man as well.
So I mean, you are investigating his family. Well, he's not a witness. So you want to? Do you think you have to manage the relationship or the visits? You know.
Initially, when he visited me, I thought he came on behalf of his family anyway, and I give him audience. But it was so not much surprising to me because of the previous antecedents, which I know he made a report, as you said, which he confessed that he was even part of it, right. Because he told me that. There was a plot of land that was sold, allegedly sold, and he participated in it, and he was asked to take some certain $400 and something thousand US dollars to his mom, and he said it was the father that asked him to do that, and they gave him 40 million. He said it without any. So he said, as far as he's concerned, he was just doing it because the person that come to them to buy the plot. Find out that the plot was sold to another third party, yes. And that's his grievance. Well, what I told him is that, look, we have a similar case in this, because among the charges is, that's why you say his brother, because there's a case whereby 501 plots was given to a third-party company, that is Lamarche Properties Limited. And when it was given to that third-party company, the company, or that's the manager, one of the managers of the company, now go and sold the entire plot. And this is a plot whereby it was taken over by the government. When I say taken over, it was collected by post from the district farmers. Whether they like it or they don't like it, the government, the state government, have that powers under the Land Use Act and under the Constitution. So now, if you look at that, they create what we call a layout, and that layout they marked 501 plots which were sold, and out of this, the proceeds, we now trace 700 million naira to a Beru company, which the Beru company acknowledge the fact that because it was passed through the financial institution, yes. So acknowledge the receipt of that money and acknowledge the remittance of the money to the family, and that is specifically the son of the governor, and that is when you see him on the church. So
Ganduje's arraignment is being stalled because you're unable to properly serve him. Have you succeeded in serving him as of today?
That is what is happening even at the federal level. I think the case of Yahya Bello and the EFCC is a case study whereby at least those that I think maybe perhaps we didn't do the necessary things will start thinking otherwise. You see, from Kano, virtually almost all the people that are supposed to be served, apart from the companies, they will be served here in Kano. One of the companies will be served in Niger State. And it is not the commission or the Kano State government that will serve Fase. It is a court bailiff that will serve. All we will do is to mobilize them, which we did. So, but we have an affidavit of service whereby the court bailiff said he tried all his best, but he did not get access to serve the respondents. And that is when we now come off with an application for substituted service. And this will give anybody that perhaps is thinking maybe is a gang up against anybody, because the court in its wisdom, it is our understanding, because this is the court belief that tell the court that I cannot access these people. And we come by way of substituted service. We are seeking for the leave of the court to serve them through substituted means. But one of the companies that we successfully served was fully represented, and the person that represented them, who at least was in the court, now objected to our application, which is an expertise application for us to have a substituted means, and the court in its wisdom listened to him and asked us to serve them on notice, and we are now to return on 29. And I believe with this, anybody, that is why I said it's ironic, or rather it is not encouraging for somebody who leads the system, who lead the system for 8 years, now didn't believe in the system. It is only when you are thinking perhaps the system will not do fair and just you, that is when you are thinking, or that is when you start dragging. If each and everybody that is accused of anything, any infractions against the laws of the state or that of the federal, or that the laws of the land will drag the way our leaders will concede are dragging, then we will not get it right.
So this seems like a tough job. Do you receive death threats?
Well, I leave that as a personal, but as I'm talking to you now, we smell a rat whereby some people are even pressurizing police to withdraw the security details attached to me, so that will perhaps pipe me down. After all what is happened, as I told you, in the course of this job, I was suspended for a year, for a month. When 1 month now lapsed and they could not find anything against me, they cooked up a story, they arrested me, they took me to prison under the false information charge. They charged me that I told the Council Assembly false information through my lawyer, not through me, not through my mouth. And as a lawyer, in my all rights, I know they cannot prove that, and I know it's a thumb-up charge. I challenged them and I went to court. I stand trial for 2 years. They could not try a misdemeanor, a simple misdemeanor case. And after that, I was returned back by the International Industrial Court. And even after that, I was taken to Code of Conduct Bureau Tribunal, and in that they calculated the turnover that entered into my account for 8 years. They said I'm not supposed to have up to 290 million naira. And now they now calculated, they now look at, they now check all the accounts that I closed, which I did not reflect in my tenure declaration. It's not that I did not declare. So they use that as us. And they now capitalize on one request that I made on behalf of the commission to the government. It's not that I took the money and put in my pocket. It is 5 million naira that I apply for 5 million naira, or the commission applied for 5 million naira, which according to them is supposed to be 2 million naira. And that is all I'm telling you. Right. And now they come with a motion that I should step down as the chairman. And it is only after our appeal that and motion for say that I was able to continue to do this job.
What are you doing this job?
Well, I'm doing it because I am passionate about it. I'm passionate about it because anybody in the anti-corruption community in Nigeria, when I say anybody that spent 10 years in the anti-corruption cycle in Nigeria knows me, and I perhaps know him very well. We interact because it's my passion, and I have a belief that You can change president for 100 times. It is only when we change our mindset. It is institution of this nature. This is an institution, Arise Television. You tell the truth, you tell the people what is happening, they will know what is happening, they will be aware of it. You did your own bit. And in Anti-Corruption Commission, I will do it without any payable to anybody. I will do it without witch hunting anybody. And I will not compromise the standards simply because I want to get rich or I want to cut corners. If every individual will do that, in Nigeria we have all what it takes to get what. But many people think perhaps it is the president that is our everything. That is why you see whenever we have anything negative, then we start looking at the government. It is only the mindset. It is our own collective responsibility that will come together from our own individual, including the messenger, that will come together and do our bit, and at least that is when the country will be good.
You have been in this sector for a while.
Yes.
Obviously, you've seen so many things.
Yes.
From your experience,
yes,
do you believe that we can change this country?
We must. When I say we must. Because things are going from bad to worst. As I'm talking to you now, because I'm coming from Kano, we are the most populous place. Go to Kano, you know what is happening. So you see, if you look at what is happening, you see, idle mind is a double workshop. We are killing, initially when we grow up, in Kano, we know Chalawa Industrial Estate, we know Sharada Industrial Estate, we know Industrial Estate. All these industrial estates now are marivon. In fact, they are dead simply because of corruption. Corruption is what kills our energy system. Our energy system cannot feed those industries. Now, that is when you see we have a lot of problems. So it is only when we come together. Everybody will do. Nobody that will come to government that doesn't have any reason to steal. You don't have any reason to steal. Like now, I come from Kano. The government take care of my flight ticket. They took care of my hotel. They give me DTA. If I'm traveling to outside this country, they give me $450 per night. Why do you think you must compromise your job simply because you want to live above people? It is only when we start realizing that this is our home, this is our place, and this is important. We come together, we do it together so that the system will work. Like now, I bet you can ask anybody from Kano, anybody that will do justice to me and to the commission, that all we are doing is to make sure that what is good for the people is obtained. Recently, during the first period of Ramadan, before Ramadan, when things are so choked off and when there's an artificial inflation, I lead team. We went around the market where the hoarding is taking place. Perhaps you even reported it. And we were able to break into warehouses. And in that operation alone, we were able to bring down the price of maize to 8,000 naira less. So if you calculate the volume of the maize that will consume in Kano, I don't think the government have the money or have the money in stock to subsidize that.
Okay. In 20 seconds, Ganduje is a big fish. So are so many other governors. Very few governors have gone to jail in this country. Do you think you can pin Ganduje down? We are not trying to pin anybody down. All we are... Get the prosecution?
Yes, prosecution is a process, and we have to start the process. We were able to go to court, and the court has fixed another date. So it is a system, and I believe law is coercive in nature. It compels obedience. So we have so many options. What I can tell you is that anybody who is being accused before the court must appear sooner or later. Must appear, and he must answer to the charges. And it's not only about an individual. Many people attribute things to a personality. All we're after is that the system that punish the destitute is the same system that's supposed to punish those that feel they are most powerful.
Mr. Muhuyi Magaji, thank you so much for being on Arise Prime Time.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
Thank you.